Yeah, we're live. Welcome, everybody. For all of you out there in YouTube land, I'm John. I represent ERB Sports as my creation, a channel dedicated to nothing but eating, ripping sports cards, anything sports cards, and betting on sports. Fantasy sports, IndyCar, Formula One, NASCAR, you name it. I like all of it. So I've got Brett with me today. Step in the box, Brett. I used Brett used me, or we used each other. Kind of mutually benefited from me going live at the National on Wednesday. So I came home, thought, give a quick overview of my national experience, answer any questions anybody had. Brett can fire away questions. I got a couple pages of notes. I don't know how long this stream will last, but we'll see. It might last an hour. It might last 20 minutes. We'll see. But I'm just here to have a good time, and I'm going to do one rip. This is a silver pack from the National. I got this for redeeming the wrapper off of one of the platinum anniversary hobby boxes that I actually did not have to buy at the National. I just brought it, and luckily enough, I didn't rip it in the hotel room, and it was Saturday, and I said, we're leaving today. I've got two of these on hand. I had a Gypsy Queen box, and I had one of those, and I said, well, I was going to rip those anyway, so let me go ahead and bring them with so I can benefit from the fact that I even brought these with, and see if I can pull a monster out of this pack or one of the black Topps Bowman packs that I have still sitting upstairs, just kind of staring at me, wondering, what am I going to do with these? Am I going to open them? Am I going to sit on them? I don't know. They actually sell for quite a bit on eBay. So if you really didn't want to take the risk, you could sell them for like $70 to $90 a pack right now. And that probably pays for the hobby box I had to buy. So that might make me feel a little better about it, but what fun would that be? So we'll fit that in another video, but we will rip this silver pack before the live stream is up. So Brett, any thought starters, fire away questions?
Yeah. First of all, did you have fun? And what was the vibe like in the room when you were there?
I had a ton of fun. We were there from Wednesday at about 4:30. We stayed pretty much till the end the first day. Met a few people, ran into Filmington on his channel. Many people probably already watch him. I know he's really into baseball. You might already know Filmington. Spent some time talking to him. The only reason I recognized who he was at all was, Ziggy says, sell it. Yeah, he's probably right. That's probably a good call. But the B and ERB, yeah, you're right. It is gambling, right? So good one. Anyway, going back to the time that I had at the National, was it fun? It was a lot of fun. Got to meet a ton of people. Got to meet Ziggy, Sports Card Show. Ziggy, no. Didn't know your real name. One of these days I'll have to know your real name. So my real name is John. I'm the 39th ranked competitive eater in the world. You can look me up on Major League Eating. I don't hide the fact of who I am. But then again, my channel isn't dedicated to just eating. It's everything, including sports betting and sports cards. So Wednesday, I had a great time. Spent 3.5 hours there. Tried to get the lay of the land. Went through all the corporate area, went through as many tables as I could during your live stream, and then tried to make a mental note of where everything was. The room was just huge. It's way too much to cover in one day. We went back, tried to make the most of Thursday. Thursday, I think for me, felt like the most busy day. There was probably the most number of people in the room on Thursday, if I'm being honest. Friday seemed a little bit lighter, and then Saturday seemed about the same as Friday. We tried to go as much as we could for 4 days. We went for about half a day on Friday, and then I hit the state of Delaware. Check that one off the box as the 49th state that I have visited. So I'm happy to say that worked out really well for me. Although I kind of cheated. I only went across the Delaware River on the ferry and basically was boots on the ground there for about an hour. And then we took the ferry back across. Really fun ride, though, because it was something different, something we hadn't done before, taking a ferry across to a different state And yeah, overall, the vibe in the room, I think people wanted to buy. People had money to spend, but many of the dealers that I came across, it seemed like there was like two different sets of dealers, and many would echo this sentiment. Those that wanted to deal and priced appropriately and wanted to move product, they wanted the cash flow. And then those that really just said, I don't need the money. I am not willing to deal. If you want to buy my cards, go ahead and buy them, but you're going to pay for them. And they just kind of left it at that. And I don't know if they had a great show or not a great show. I was astonished at the number of people that were, oh, Michael. Okay. Yep. Mike, you go by Mike or Michael, Ziggy. So the other thing was the amount of people that had product there to sell. I was astonished by that. My brother-in-law, who's a breaker, based out of Wisconsin, he told me, he said, John, bring all your cards with. You can move them. You will sell all of them if you want. And I said, nah, these dealers don't want people to come there and sell them their cards. They want to buy, people to buy from them, right? Well, that was not the case. They literally were looking through everybody's bin saying, I will buy. If you have the right stuff, I will buy from you. So in general, like I said, two polar opposites as far as tables went. Those that were willing to deal and were willing to kind of adjust their prices to the current market rates, and those that just wanted to sell at the highest possible value and really were kind of rude about it. So yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying it was up and down. But yeah, in one of my videos, I actually made a funny comment about one card in particular that I knew the value of, because I do a lot of research around this player, and many ways may say, well, this player sucks, or he's not on a good team, as De'Aaron Fox, right? So as a De'Aaron Fox guy myself, somebody had PSA 9, they had a stack of them, probably like 10 PSA 9 optic base rookies, and he had $50 on them. I was like, I kind of laughed. I said, they've never been $50, and they sure as heck aren't $50 right now. So anyway, yeah. So what do you got next?
Here's my next question. Did you get a chance to hold any of the 52 Manals?
Could I have done that if I asked? I didn't ask. I assumed that there was security around them, and I did not try to. But then again, I saw plenty of people with pictures showing them that they did. So I couldn't believe
that either, man. There was lots of people. I was consuming all the YouTube content, and there was lots of people that were holding that mantle. And
yeah,
there was a lot of people trying to buy. I know Sports Card Investor was buying mantles. Jabs bought a mantle. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. I saw that video. I saw Jabs. Jabs was right in front of me as we were walking in the first day. It said Jabs family on the back of his shirt. And I told my wife, I'm like, you know who that is, right? And she's like, who? I said, the guy with the backpack. She's like, I don't know. Tell me. I said, we watch him. He rips baseball all the time. She thought it was you at first, but she's like, because Brett rips baseball. So yeah. The funny thing about the 52 Manals, and somebody else's video actually said this today. I think it was Bench Clear Media. Listened to their stuff on the way to pick up my son from work. As many of the people that were holding the 52 Mantle, there really wasn't much security around such an expensive card. Ken Golden had better security than the 52 Mantle did.
That's funny.
I don't know if Ziggy is still on the live stream, but if you happen to notice Ken Golden at all, he was the only guy I knew at the whole show that had private security tailing him like everywhere he went. Even when he was at his own booth sitting down, there was a guy there like just, arms crossed, piece in his ear, suit, strong man, looked like he could break a guy in half. And I thought, these 52 Manals don't even have that level of security.
No, that's awesome.
So
okay, so you started off with some promo packs. You got a promo pack there. So What products were they accepting that you could purchase? Do you remember any off the list?
Yeah, I took a picture of it. I've got it on this phone that I'm actually using for
It's
the
all right.
live. Um, Basically, what it was is any hobby box that was like your regular paper stock or your kind of like average lower end hobby box, they were giving 1 pack away. If you bought it and let them take the wrapper, and if you bought the jumbos or the more expensive boxes like a tier 1 or a definitive or something like that, you got 2 packs. So it was either a 1 or a 2. You either got 1 pack or 2 packs. And if you did the Topps Platinum Anniversary Edition, you got this silver pack, which has it's a 52 card replica of either Julio Rodriguez, Bobby Witt Jr., or Spencer Torkelson. You're guaranteed one of the 3. So you can almost guarantee if you rip a couple of these packs, you're probably going to get all 3 of them in a 52 stock, and it might be numbered. You already sent me the link. The 1 of 1's already been pulled. It actually sold already. I was surprised.
Wow, what did it sell for?
That's crazy. It sold for $4,000.
That's it?
That's it, right? I couldn't believe it. I was
Wow.
looking on like eBay for seeing what the cards were selling for in the regular Bowman Chrome, and I happened across that card and I saw it was $4,200. And I thought, that's it? Oh my goodness,
Wow.
That's so low.
I'm surprised on that. Yeah.
It's a 1 of 1. It was only available at the National. It technically wasn't pack pulled, but I'm sure they didn't give away like 2,000 of these. They probably gave away like 3,000 or 4,000 of those.
Yeah. I know from being at home, I was very jealous. I saw the first night, might have been Up North Collectors open, maybe the first night. I think that might have been the first one I saw. And I saw those cards, was like, oh my gosh, those are nice cards. I'm like, I wish I would have just gone for the silver pack mode, or for the silver packs, the promos, the national promos.
If I would have known better ahead of time and known that those would have been there, my plan of attack would have probably been to buy the cheapest case of product that I would want to have, like a Heritage or a Series 2 Hobby or something like that was on the cheaper end, and bring the whole case and get as many of those as I could, because they did seem pretty loaded up. I've got 3 of them. I'm still sitting on them upstairs. I'll probably open them, or I don't know. We'll see. But
I was talking to a buddy, and it's been different in years. Like last year, the promo packs weren't that great from Topps. I think Topps finally said, we're sick of being outdone by Panini, that we're going to make these packs pretty awesome this year. And man, those packs are awesome. But I did this. I did this in 2017. I think it was 17. Mm-hmm. The price of products in the room was expensive, and we got the list. And we went to our local hobby shop and bought a case. We each bought a case and brought it in, like you said, instead of buying it in the room, because they weren't taking tickets. I don't know if it was 19. You actually had to get like a vendor ticket to bring over there.
Yeah.
And this year they didn't, did they?
No,
you just could bring over anything.
They just had a razor blade. They took the cellophane off and they threw it in the garbage. And then they gave you your pack. So as soon as I saw that and I realized they weren't checking receipts or anything, I just went ahead and I said, I'm going to bring these 2 with me that I brought in the hotel room. I'm like, I'm bringing them with me. We're going to open them anyway. So why not?
Yeah. Series 2 had dropped down to $80 a hobby box. You might be able to get a case for $75. That'd have been a nice product to bring in there to get some of those packs.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're in it for, flipping is sometimes frowned upon, but if you're in it for sort of like a break even at the very least, you could have taken a cheaper Series 2 hobby box into the show if you'd have got it for $80 or $75, and you could have got all of those packs, sold the packs, and whatever you got out of the hobby boxes kept, and probably would have you were destined to make money then, because the packs alone were selling for $70 to $90, like I said. So
man, those are good looking cards. I'm jealous. I'm a little bit upset at myself that I didn't go just for those packs. They were good.
Yeah, definitely. I wish time in July had been different without not having to replace the roof or the transmission in my wife's car. I I would have had a better shot at maybe splurging a little more, but we tried to maintain a pretty tight budget. We came in and we said we're not spending more than, I think it was like $1,000 is what we spent
X amount. Yeah.
total. I said I'm not spending any more than that, and I tried to stay to that. And it was all the card budget money that we try to funnel anything we sell card wise into that kitty anyway. So we just said, hey, we're not going to drain that, but we went in with, like $1,500 in that account, and we came out with like 500 in that account. So I think we did all right.
It's a good way to do it. Yeah.
I got a Yount rookie that I was on the lookout for. I got a Molitor rookie that I was on the lookout for. Got a Giannis rookie, a lower end one, but still it's a Giannis rookie in a 10. And I thought that looked pretty cool. And it was just something to say we had finally. And then we got a lot of Steph Curry random stuff and anything else that piqued my interest that I thought was a good deal that people were willing to deal. And I tried to buy it.
That's awesome.
And then my wife,
staying disciplined.
I don't know if my wife's on the stream, but I grabbed the cards that she bought. She bought a Dennis the Menace artist signed index card that was graded by PSA as authentic. It was like an artist sketch card. And then she bought the Wacky Packs. She bought this from Aaron's dad at Slab Stocks. She bought the Wacky Packs 1974. I think it was called Chumps or Chums or something like that. I'll go grab it quick.
Okay. Man, I wish I would have gone now. I'm beating myself up for not going. The coverage on YouTube was pretty amazing. There was a lot of channels covering.
All right, I'm back.
I'm just chatting to myself here, John.
So she got this from Aaron's dad.
That's cool. I love that unique stuff.
It was the 5th series 1974 Wacky Pack sticker. And then she got this Dennis the Menace artist sketch, which
that's awesome too.
Is signed by Ron Ferdinand, who I think was the artist, and it was Dennis the Menace and his dog. So,
wow.
So not even sports card related. You can get something that you never expect to find in house. She thought that was cool.
I think those are really neat too.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something I had on my list. So the one thing that I saw two things that were negative. Cell service seemed to be brutal. And I didn't see the pictures, but I guess a few people got beat up outside the convention center on their way home. Got jumped. Did you hear about that?
I heard about it. I didn't see any of that. We went to the boardwalk one night that we stayed late. I think it was Thursday night that we went to the boardwalk, and I never felt unsafe. But I heard that if you got off the main 3-block area that was sort of like from the convention center to the Bally's and Caesars, if you got outside of that, it was a little sketchy. I don't know if that's what happened, but we were on the boardwalk for like an hour. It got dark out. We walked back in the dark to our car. There was not many people around, but I never felt like it was unsafe. But then again, I've been in cities that are not so great before. We lived in the Bay Area. I'd frequented Oakland before. That was where I worked. So I kind of know what to expect in not so great areas.
Yep, exactly.
You try to have a certain way you walk, a certain way you kind of carry yourself. You gotta be, your head's got to be on a swivel, and you got to be defensive, more or less. Not like aggressive or anything, but just act like you've been there and act like you're not a tourist.
Exactly. Don't be a weak link. They're looking to feed on the weak link, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Rural Card Collector says the Julio card that Up North got from the promo packs was awesome. That Julio is nice.
Yeah, I hope I get something like that out of my packs. I think they also got a Khalil Watson gold, if I'm not mistaken. The ones that I watched them open, and that was what prompted me to go get them. You sent me that link and said, "Hey, check this out," and I said, "Oh my goodness, those things look loaded."
Yeah, exactly.
And so then we ended up with a Series 2 jumbo and then we wanted to get one of these at first because they were different, and we thought, well, you get at least a J-Rod or a Julio or a J-Rod or a Bobby Witt or a Spencer, and I was like, that seems like a good deal. I'll buy that. So
that's the thing about those packs this year between Bowman and then the rookies. There's so many good players in it. Like some
right.
years it's the players aren't. This year, both Bowman and with those guys, Bobby
Yeah.
Witt and Julio, man.
It seems
It
like what they did is a star checklist, almost like Bowman
yeah.
Chrome
Oh
does.
yeah.
Like it's obviously the card says Bowman Chrome, right? But it's treated like it was like the Bowman Chrome release, like it's
Yep.
nothing but firsts or rookies and
Yeah.
stars.
Or
That's it.
stars, yeah. My
Yeah.
buddy pulled a Mike Trout auto out of his.
Yeah.
So
See,
he was pumped.
that's crazy. That's yeah, that's something I'm hoping for. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I want to put it on camera because you never know what you're gonna find. If I open them, I didn't want to open them without my wife here because she said, you're gonna wait on those, right? You're not gonna open them without me. I said, all
Yeah,
right,
you got
fine,
to get her
I
on.
can
That'd
wait.
make for a good video.
Yeah, you gotta have some fun with that, right? So
Heck yeah.
that's
See
definitely
who can pull the biggest card.
right. So what other thoughts you
Oh
got? 'Cause I got
man.
a few things written down. You want me to? You
So
want to go next?
before I got one more. What was selling in the room? What was hot? Was Star Wars Sapphire selling in the room? F1 football quarterbacks. What was the talk in the room? Did you get a read on that? I mean, obviously the 52 mantle from my perspective seemed to be like not being there. Seemed to be what everybody was talking about.
Yeah. Every table I went to, trying to listen to what other people were asking for. In a football sense, the people were asking for Josh Allen. They were asking for Herbert. They were asking for Jalen Hurts, and they were asking for Lawrence. And they didn't appear to be asking as much for Joe Burrow. They didn't appear to be asking for like Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised if people didn't want to buy Patrick Mahomes because the AFC is just so tough. I cannot see a way where Patrick Mahomes ends up with 5 Super Bowls. I can't see it. I think he might be stuck at 1 for 7 or 8 years. Other things that people were buying, trying to think of the modern tables. I saw a lot of people trying to buy like the 1-of-1s and the low numbered anything Prism. I think one of the gents that was on Card Talk, he was on the lookout for an Eli Moore 1-of-1. He got it. He got an Eli Moore auto 1-of-1. So there, from a dealer's perspective, like those sorts of purchases, like they were being very specific about what they wanted. Seemed like low numbered stuff, autos. And it was Prism this year. And then like I said, the other players on the basketball side, a lot of people were asking for Jason Tatum. Obviously people would always ask for Steph Curry, but I didn't really hear a lot of people ask for Steph Curry. You just kind of see it in every case. You really don't have to ask. There was a fair amount of it. You'd have to be blind if you didn't see it. And then I didn't see any Star Wars Sapphire. At least I didn't. I don't know. Maine baseball guys that were moving. Great question, Rural Card Collector. So
I've noticed on eBay there's been a huge uptick in Juan Soto's values.
I was just going to say
up,
that.
like
I
big
was
time.
going to say Soto. I was going to say Aaron Judge.
He hit another home run tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people
another
were
bomb,
about
number
Judge.
43.
A lot of people were asking about Soto, and a lot of people were asking about guys that are, kind of like on the cusp of the Hall of Fame, and like guys that are already Hall of Famers, maybe just, retired. I saw plenty of people asking for that. I wasn't the only one on the search for Robin Yount. There were other people on the search for Robin Yount. I had a reason for that, but there was enough of that going on. I didn't see like people after like Goldschmidt or Arenado. Not as much as I expected. You still had a lot of Acuna stuff. You still had a lot of Tatis stuff, but I didn't hear a lot of people asking about that. I think by far it was Judge and Soto.
Did you get any cards graded while you were there in person?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Unfortunately, I I had a couple that I brought with me that were Bowman that I could have. I brought the Ellie auto. I had a Lenyon Sosa green numbered to 99 auto. I had Khalil Watson, Mojo. I had a Ellie De La Cruz purple that I had pulled from a blaster. I had that. I had the gold Everson Ortega. So I had a bunch that I could have graded. I had Joey Bart auto number to 99 that I pulled out of a blaster for Topps Chrome last year. I didn't get anything graded. I didn't, obviously wasn't going to use like SGC or anything like that, but I didn't really want to spend, excuse me, I didn't want to spend a ton of time waiting in any lines for that.
I totally understand that. I'm kind of the same way. I wonder how long it took, because I saw 502 Frank. He got several cards graded at SGC, and he got them on the same day. Got them back the same day, and
the SGC pre-grades were very fast. They almost got them back in like hours. It seemed like there was a queue, steady queue. Beckett had a bigger queue than I thought. And I think CSG didn't really have anybody using their service at the National.
Yeah, I think they're in big trouble, man.
When they raise their prices, I like their new slab. Their new slab is really great to hold.
I do too.
I actually have a couple cards in a CSG slab, the new one. I like it. It's really nice. But those are cards I wouldn't necessarily sell. I know I can get an affordable price on a slab card.
I think they have the best slab. It's so crystal clear. It's nice and beefy. It just presents so well compared to. I think they have the best slab of all of them. And after they changed from that green label, I like it even more now. So
yeah,
it's just if you're looking for value.
Yeah, for PC, I think they're a great service if they were staying at the $12 per card, because it's just an affordable way of having a quality slab with a nice label and just making it feel like it's a nice piece, even though it's never really going to be the same value right now that you would get from like a PSA or even an SGC. So
I'm major jealous though that I didn't go. I wish I would have gone. I love following I just woke up every morning, and after you post your video, I'd watch your videos, and everybody else's would trickle in during the day. I was consuming that like crazy, but it's pretty amazing. You could probably talk on this more, how all the old vendors have seniority and, for the sign up list and where they're put. So you have all those old guys that have some amazing vintage stuff. Yeah. And then across from them, you got these breakers and these backyard dudes screaming and yelling like fools across from them. So you got that whole, it's a pretty diverse room now in terms of young and old.
Very, very much. There were some booths that it looked like a museum. Like they had no cards, but it was basically just sports relics, like bats and jerseys and helmets and balls and trophies and you name it. And then you got other stuff that was ultra modern. And then you got people that bring their binders, like 150 different binders of vintage cards. And you're just like, oh my goodness, this is so much to go through. Like there's no way I could go through all this. I went through a couple binders and I was looking for certain players and I'm just like, I could only sit down and do that for like 20 minutes. And I was like, I got to get up and walk around.
Got to go see more. Yeah.
I feel like I could stay all day here and so what, right? So, but yeah, definitely was a fun.
What else you got? What else you got?
So a couple interesting things I did not bring up in any of my videos. So, Neo Cards and Comics made a reference to this when he said that the reason that he felt like the traffic on Friday and Saturday was not as heavy as it should have been was that hotel costs were through the roof. Not wrong on that. I heard that many people said the cost of hotels there were extremely high. We lucked out. We stayed about 15 miles away at a Homewood Suites, and we were Hilton Honors Points members, so we got our stay for free. I think if I had to pay for the hotels, in the Atlantic City area, I would have probably definitely shared that cost with somebody else. It would have been nice to like rent a house or something and have like a group of people. I feel like that's the way you got to do it, especially in a venue like that where hotel options are such a premium. Or you've got to stay like 10 to 15 miles away like we did. Not as great for the atmosphere. It's not like trade nights were opening, in our lobby. There were a few people that were staying at our hotel that go to the National. I could definitely tell that because they had cases with them. They would come down, eat breakfast in the morning, or leave or come in when we did. So it's not like there was nobody staying that far away, but the experience was not quite as rich as I think it was, nearby the casino hotels. Wi-Fi. We didn't mention the Wi-Fi in the room. It sucked. It completely sucked. And actually, one of the points I was going to bring up as far as my final thoughts, and I was going to ask you, what do you do? And I know you're set up as a dealer a lot, but if, and I don't know if when you go to card shows, if you're looking to buy cards or sealed product, what's kind of more of your thing, but without eBay comps, it felt like you're walking around naked. Like you don't know what to do because you're so used to looking at that. And so when you see dealer, like you really had to have a good mental memory of the guys you were after and what the reasonable price is on that card. Because I myself did not have an answer for everything, but I knew generally the ballpark and I could tell ones that were overpriced. So I didn't need to go like refer to comps. But if I saw a rare card and it caught my eye, I would be like, okay, I don't know if that's fair. Maybe walk outside and check it and come back and see. So what are your thoughts? How would you handle that?
I tell you what, it's tough because I've been on both sides. Like last year at the National, my number one goal was to buy Nolan Arenado PSA 10s, and I knew the price, and I was like focused.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other stuff. If I was buying, I'd be like, there's no way I would. You get a ballpark of certain stuff if you've been looking, but
Yep.
if you've been selling. But I know for me as a seller, especially when I first started, pricing is a pain, man. I just don't price everything, but I've gotten better at like, okay, hey, this insert's $1, that card's $5, that's $3, that's $10. But that's where those older guys in the room who have all that vintage,
Yep.
they've got every single thing priced, and it's pretty accurate too.
Mm-hmm.
But as a buyer, I would have really struggled if I was going outside the realm of buying something unique. That's tough, man, not having phone service, because these days you're almost relying on it. Like you said, you're a Curry power collector. So you pretty much know every Curry card. Now, if it comes down to like a parallel, then you see it, you're like, I don't know if that's a good price or not. Is it?
Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing. We saw plenty of Curry rare parallels that we were like, that's a cool card. And we'd ask the guy, like, because he didn't have a price on it. We'd be say, like, how much do you value that card at? And he'd say, like, oh, $1,500. And I'd be like, I feel like you're double what the comp is right now. Like, you're so far apart. Like, I don't even want to ask you a second question. And I'm like, well, do I need to check the comp on that? And so then I'd walk outside and take a break, and I'd be like, yeah, like $750 was a reasonable price on that. Like, and even then I was like, I can't get that today. Like maybe somewhere down the road. It's a cool tie-dye, Select 2015. It looked cool, no doubt. And it was a 10, but yeah, it was a little too pricey for our budget as far as like buying one card.
That's tough not having service. And I noticed too, there weren't as many posts on like Instagram and Twitter. There lots of YouTube stuff that was post produced, right? I can't believe you're able to go live from in there.
I know, yeah.
I'm blown away because after everybody was talking, I'm blown away.
I couldn't believe it either. I actually thought about that on Thursday. I thought, did the live stream that I did even turn out because the service was so bad on Thursday morning? It was awful. I could not get a signal at all. I mean, it said I had 5G, but then I try and load a page or even like a website or like the Nationals site for like a map. I couldn't get anything to load. It was just spinning and spinning and spinning. I was like, this is pointless. So, and then I have two phones. I have a work phone as well that I had on me. and I didn't even use this work phone at all the whole time I was there Thursday. I walked out of the building and the battery was completely drained. And I was like, why is, and I was thinking, you know what? It was trying to find a signal the whole time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just working and working and working, trying to find a signal. And it couldn't. So I finally put it on airplane mode the rest of the time. I just said, the hell with it.
Jeez.
So I'd have airplane mode in the building, and then I'd walk outside and be like, okay, turn the airplane mode off. So, yeah.
Any other good, interesting stuff you saw in
Yeah.
terms
So,
of just
yeah.
storylines or product?
Yeah. So I mentioned this in the, on a chat with you before, but you're a big 2019 Series 2 guy, the Tatis rookie. I don't know. I mean, I only got 3 people watching us, so no data points are really going to be there. But I didn't see any of it in the room. Not any of it. I didn't see a blaster box. I didn't see a hanger box, a fat pack, a mega box. No hobby. I didn't
Nothing.
see anything, which is crazy. In a big room with 700 tables and all this product, I didn't see one box. And I know what that box looks like. It stands out because it's bright green.
Oh yeah, Hank
And
Aaron, Mike Trout, right on the front.
I even saw like Filmington bought a bunch of sealed product that he posted on his Instagram, and he did not. 2019 Series 2 was not in there, so my guess is he couldn't find it because it wasn't just me.
No,
And I'm surprised
I
though,
was not surprised when you said that, because last year
mm-hmm.
I scoured the room looking, and I actually had a post on my Facebook from a year ago, my my national pickups, and I had purchased 3 jumbos and I think 4 hobby boxes there, and that was literally, there was not much there last year. There were a few other blasters and hangers I didn't buy because they're overpriced and they wouldn't come down on them. But other than that, I bought all the hobby boxes that were in the room. I still have 2 left. I want to open them. I'm going to open them. I'm going to open one when Tatis comes back. But I really do think that people during the height of pandemic, just like me, I mean, I opened up a case of hangers on secondary market multiple times. And the Tatis PSA 10 and the Alonso and the Eloy and the Vladimir, plus all the other stuff, it just, that product was so good and it was worth so much that people just ripped it.
Right. That's a good point, because it was so easy to pull decent hits that were valuable at the time that you wanted to just grade and sell. And there was no point in keeping it sealed because you'd make way more money by, buying the box, opening it, getting, one in every 3 or 4 boxes, probably a Tatis, Vlad, or the Pete Alonso, and then just sell it. So I totally forgot about that, but that makes a lot of sense. So
I saw. Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I saw a video, and I forgot. I don't remember what year of Prism basketball was, but they opened up and they were going to break it, and it was full of I forgot what packs were inside there. That somebody had resealed the box and they had some different packs in there. I wish I would have wrote that down. Did you happen to see that?
I was not. No.
I'll see if I can find that and send it to you.
Yeah, the other thing, I didn't see any videos on. I don't know if people opened it, but the Mega Box, the Mega Mix boxes from Blowout, and the Fanatics had a lot of sealed boxes in like tiered levels, like bronze, gold, silver, platinum, diamond. Those things were moving. I don't know what was in there, but they were moving.
Wow.
We walked by there, and there was giant boxes. We're talking like a huge Tupperware container. Can only imagine, like, it probably had like a Zero Cool in there, and you name it, probably a bunch of stuff, and it was like a variety pack. Lots of it sold, and that was pretty interesting. So
now that you said that, did Fanatics have a big display there? Were they set up?
Did.
I didn't remember seeing it.
They were very.
I figured they would.
They were the loud ones, honestly. They were giving packs away like on the hour. They would do pack releases, and they had a huge queue of people to the pack releases. Like, they were giving away Stranger Things, and I forget what other Zero Cool brand stuff and stuff like that. So they definitely had a really big presence there. A lot of energy around their booth. They were right next to Topps. Panini was sort of like across the way from both of them, the way the corporate booths were set up. They had like the bigger corporate on the outside, and like the middle was like your smaller entities. And then the auction sites were kind of off the ends. But yeah, the Fanatics booth was a lot more lively than last year. And I didn't go last year, but I think last year was, people were sort of like, yeah, Fanatics, so what, right? But this year they were like, oh, Fanatics, yeah, like they had a lot of,
Yeah, they're big
energy.
time now.
So,
I know another booth that I saw that seemed to be rowdy and lots of people behind it. Whatnot with the breakers there
yes.
and their booth.
Yeah,
That place that looked pretty rowdy. It's not my cup of tea, but I tell you what, you gotta recognize it,
Definitely. And they also had the carnival game. They had the horse game or whatever with the skee ball. And I was like, I didn't get it at first. I was like, is it prizes? Like, is this just for fun? I think a lot of people played it just for fun. They might have been giving away a pack or something, but they had a queue there, and then they had a lot more people there for Whatnot in general than I thought they would. I saw multiple times where it was, I think Card Collector 2 was using the Whatnot. He was live on Whatnot, breaking cards, and then I later saw Jeff Wilson doing it, and then I later saw
Mojo
doing it, and then Mojo, and then I think even the Loot Box 2 pair. So they were constantly going to the Whatnot live at the National. It's not my thing.
It's not my thing either. I have the Whatnot app. I just, I don't know. But I tell you what, we should stay tuned and get on it to look, because if you're buying and selling in the hobby, you can get an idea of what the younger generation is looking, like the hype boys, and it's an interesting place, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's really interesting to see how this like how this materializes in the next year or two with the younger crowd. Like, there was a lot of kids there, a lot of kids.
I noticed that just from the videos.
A lot of kids under the age of like 12, and I can imagine like your break. That's like the age I was when I first started to get into it, and then like when you become high schoolers, you kind of step away if you have sports and other things going on, and then maybe you dabble in it, but you're not like heavy into it. So it'll be really interesting to see like 5 years from now if those kids are still in it. Or do they find, that they like girls and other things that that pique their interest more than pictures of men. So I'd say hilarious. Pictures of people, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be men all the time.
Yeah.
So. But,
oh man, that's awesome.
But yeah. So a couple other things I wrote down, and I don't know how much time you have, and it looks like even though we're live, we got like 2 people watching. So
hey man, I'm here for the long haul, man.
If you would hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to do more of this. I would love to do this with anybody I ran into at the National. Flipping Steve, Neo. You just name a time, I will go live. Brett and I are, we're buds when it comes to we like baseball a lot. We like flagships, so I think we'll do more of this coming up. This won't be a one and done.
This is awesome.
So yeah, a couple final thoughts from me if you want to wrap it up under an hour.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so I bought the VIP pass. I think if you go to the National, and even if you wanted to get the full experience, I don't think you need the VIP pass. We got it because we didn't know how many days we would go. We used 4 out of the 5 days, and we used it for the entire time. However, our hotel was 15 miles away. We didn't use the early entry one time. So even the main benefit of having it, we didn't even use it, and I didn't care.
Did yours include free parking?
It did not.
Okay.
So that was the super VIP that included free parking.
Yeah, that's what I got last year.
And maybe that's the way to go. Get that one instead, because it might be worth it.
I know if you're going for at least 4 of the days, like for me at Rosemont, I don't know how much parking was there, but like at Rosemont, it's $15 a day.
Yeah.
So I went 4 of the 5 days, and right there, the value starts to even out on the super VIP.
Yeah, it was $10 a day for the first 2 days, and then $15 a day for the second 2 days.
That's not bad.
It was I think, well, but what is that?
That's pretty
50
standard.
bucks total for
Yeah,
parking. So
that's
not
reasonable
bad.
to me.
And it was
I'm
like
I'm
it was a 4 block walk, safe walk.
being by Chicago.
Yeah.
I parking is that's reasonable to me.
Yeah, but the one thing I would say, even if you didn't do the VIP pass, if you're thinking about going to the National, for anybody out there, book your hotel way in advance if you're traveling. Way in advance. Get it as cheap of a price as you can. I think you can always cancel it because it sounds like, and I don't know if Chicago will be like this, but these more niche venues, maybe Cleveland will be like this in a couple years. The prices on the hotels are through the roof. If you want to stay close, book it way in advance.
Yeah, man. If you're going next year, you might as well get on there, find the date,
It's what I
and book
said.
it. And
As soon as it lets you, do it. Because it
and
usually
I
doesn't
don't
require a deposit. So just go ahead and do it. Get it out of the way, just so you have it.
I don't know how many people are going to see this video, and especially towards here the end. But if
Yeah.
you're going to Rosemont next year and you're going to stay out, pay the money and stay at one of the 4 or 5 hotels that is attached to the convention center. Once you park, you literally don't have to use your car again. Everything's right there.
Yep.
And you'll thank me later because it's an awesome experience.
Yeah.
It's just so convenient. You wake up in the morning, walk over, and you're good to
Yeah.
go. Trade nights last year were insanity in the hotel, in all the hotels. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was one thing we did not get the experience of. We did the original trade night, the one at the hall. It was very busy, very crazy line to get in. Unfortunately, we weren't staying at the hotel, like I said, and so we didn't get to do any of the pop-up trade nights, which I heard were pretty fun. And many people frequented those, so we kind of missed out on that. But we didn't know where they would be. Turns out they were in Bally's, and maybe in the Borgata, or maybe not the Borgata. I think flipping Steve's video, he said that they got that shut down right away. So, but yeah, that would have been fun. Because I heard from others that many people frequented the trade nights at the other hotels. So we missed out on that. Great suggestion though to stay near the National next year if you're going to go. Take advantage of that. A couple other things, and I'll mention one thing at the end. Overall, great to meet friends and make acquaintances. It's so much to keep track of. It's so hard to kind of mingle with everybody. It's kind of like somebody made this analogy. It's kind of like being at a wedding. You get to spend like 5 minutes with somebody and you may not see them again because it's so big. So always, pass information, if you're into networking and want to have those friendships and build on them, you may only get one shot and then you got to wait a year, or you just be persistent. And in my video, I made a comment about persistence and how that helps build relationships over time. Stick to your budget. So we did a good job of that. We did not extend beyond what we intended to spend. I sold a bunch of stuff so I could build up a bankroll to spend at the National. I wanted to spend because I just wanted to have a good time, and we had such a crappy month. I just needed to kind of let loose. So we did, but we stuck to our budget, and that made me feel good at the end of the day. So let's see. Other hobby interest, very strong. I will say that again. It was packed. Safe event overall. I didn't mention this. Sealed product on site for certain products. If you're wondering where you get the deals on the stuff that's like the kind of crap retail, don't buy retail. If you're out there and you listen to this video, don't buy your select baseball at a Target or a Walmart or a Meijer. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Go to the National a year later and you can get it for $10. I'm not gonna lie.
That was awesome.
They had blasters of Select from 2021 for $11. They had blasters of Heritage for $14 that they discounted to $11 on the day we left. I'm sure they discounted them again. They had a lot of sealed product. That was the lower end sealed product, maybe for the kids, the stuff that you're into just ripping for fun. And it was around that $10 price point. So don't buy retail of that stuff. Be patient if you're going to go to the National, or send somebody to the National and have them buy it for you. Give them $50. Go get your 5 blasters, take them home, and have a great time. That's I will tell everybody about that, because you go to like your local Targets or Walmarts. I went to Target today, and we were near there for the event that I was at a little bit ago. And I'm going, through the card section, and like $30 for a select blaster box of baseball. And I'm like, I almost feel like putting a sign saying like, don't buy this.
Don't buy it. Yep.
Buy this at the National, or send somebody there that can get it to you for a decent price, because you're going to get ripped off. And I hate to see that. It turns people away. So, and then one final thought before we wrap up. Gary V. I don't necessarily like Gary V. I don't have anything against Gary V. But I would say that Gary V was at his table selling V-Friend stuff, and Gary V was working it. It was really fun to see Gary V hustling to help.
Dude, he's a
customers.
hustler. That's why I like him.
I was like, wait a second. I did not think he would do that. He has hat backwards, a t-shirt, jeans, and he's out there shaking hands, looking in the case, going back and forth, helping people, grabbing bags, taking cat. Like, he was working it. And I thought, that is not something I expected to see. I thought maybe he'd be more of like, kind of like celebrity, kind of come in, pop in, shake a few hands, take a few pictures, smile, and then dart out the stage, right? But he was working his booth for the entire day on Friday. He wasn't there Saturday. They packed up and they left. I think he had to go out of town, but for all day Friday, he was working his booth heavy. I thought that was pretty respectable.
Being a Midwest guy, I'm not into that East Coast flair, but I respect, I love his message. I love his work ethic. And I love his grind, and I consume his content, even though it's not like my number one cup of tea. I do enjoy it. So that's really cool that he was there.
Yeah, I would say he seemed like a really down to earth guy when he was working his booth. We spent a little time looking through his stuff and just chatting for a second, but it's not something I expected, right? Because it'd be like Jeff Wilson or Ken Golden, like working their table, like helping customers. Ken seems like he's above that. He doesn't want to do that. Ken takes pictures. Ken smiles, but he doesn't do a whole lot else.
As a security guard.
Yeah, I got secure, and that was the other thing. Like, Gary didn't even have that, and
that's crazy.
I think Gary is like a bigger presence in general in business than Ken Golden is.
I think so too.
I was like, Gary just seemed way down to earth. Like, I almost thought like you'd see Gary at the trade night. Like, I expected, after I saw that, I was like, well, maybe he was at the trade night last night. Like, I didn't even see him. He could have been. Like, I don't know. It was so big. The room was so packed. It was hard to know who was there and who wasn't. But yeah, mad respect for that guy hustling at his table and taking care of customers. Really good to see. So yeah, I think I hit on all my notes.
It's awesome.
Anything else?
I can't wait till next year. I am pumped for next year.
Yeah, me too.
I'm once the Super VIP go for sale, I'm gonna buy them once it goes for sale, whenever that is. And I think, kind of finishing this off for me, it going into next year, since I wasn't there, there's this misperception online that Chicago Rosemont is like this disastrous place.
Right.
It is not Chicago. It isn't Chirac. It's a north suburb. It's right now. You can fly into O'Hare, and literally it's a 2-minute ride down there, and you're there for the whole time. And it's a really nice place. You can be out at all hours of the night if you stay in that area and not worry about anything. And there's a lot of police presence. Not that it's a nice area. People were walking down the streets with their whole stuff last year, middle of the night. So it's a great place. So if anybody tells you otherwise, that, it's Chicago, it's a terrible place, I'm not going there, they're full of crap, plain and simple.
Yeah, definitely agree that, the west suburbs of Chicago are perfectly safe. Anything, near O'Hare and outward. Seems like very safe. Nothing to worry about there. You're well away from the riffraff. So
That's about all I got, buddy.
all right. Well,
That was.
let's not forget about this.
Oh yeah, let's see it, baby.
Let's
Come on.
I don't have a filler card. These packs, they don't open very well.
No.
Here we go.
Come on, I'm rooting for you.
Let's see if I got a. I don't think it's numbered. I see a white border, so.
Oh man.
All right.
No 101.
Now, let's see here. Let's do it this way. Let's see. Rookie card. I got Bobby Witt.
Oh, that's a good one. And there's just one card in those, huh? One card?
Yeah, it looks like just one card. Bobby Witt. Get it on camera there. Bobby Witt Jr., 52 throwback. And it's weird.
Those are so nice. I wonder what
they're like it's not really chrome. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's glossy. It's glossier and thicker than a regular paper stock. So it's not like,
man, those look so
like
nice.
52 throwbacks was in the 2021 Series 1, and they were in that paper stock almost like a heritage, and they were kind of crap. So
but these are glossy.
These are glossy and they're thicker. They're not chrome, but they're thicker cardstock. So, and they look all pretty well centered, nice 4 sharp corners, good surface. And I would say overall edges are clean. So these are, I think it's hard for these not to get 10s.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd be grading that Julio and that one. You know, that's just my opinion.
I definitely wouldn't sell them raw. But yeah, they seem like they would be a limited print release that if you're first to market with the graded version, I think you'd probably carry a premium. But and then people are going to remember, like, that was one of the first times you could actually get one of their cards that wasn't the short print. And it's not pack pulled, but it's only available at the National in this stock. And so not a numbered card, but I don't really care. Like I said, I was going to open the box anyway. So
that's a cool card.
Hey, I got 2 of the 3. The only one I didn't get is Torkelson, but I tend to think that that's probably not a bad thing because he got sent out to letters anyway.
I agree.
So I think
that's
I got
awesome.
two of the 3 that are the good ones.
I agree,
so, yeah,
buddy.
I really appreciate everybody watching who's watched for the last hour. If you tuned in, hit that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends. I'd like to do more of this. And, yeah, had a great time at the National. Had a great time representing Step in the Box on the live stream on Wednesday. If we ever go to another card show, we know how to be in 2 places at once.
Exactly.
We can do more of that. And I will, I can let you go. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Are you going to rip anything later, or are you going to take a break?
Nothing tonight. I'm taking a little break for a few days. I looked at about 500 cards for grading on Friday, and I am carded out right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I didn't rip. This is the only ripping I've done since I've been home, because I've just been kind of like, oh, man, I don't want to sleeve cards again. And I would need to get another box or something if I open too much. And I've got, I have enough top loaders and sleeves and stuff, but I just really don't want to yet. But I'll probably open that Series 2 Jumbo. I said I would never open any Series 2. I made a video. I said, this is the last one, I promise. Well, I didn't know to go to the National and buy one. So I can't not open that now because it's unsealed anyway. So I might as well open it.
And now you'll pull the Julio short print out of it.
Yeah, I hope I do, or maybe a Julio auto or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, that would be a icing on the cake. So, and I got a cat here. The cat that goes to the live streams.
Oh yeah,
the one that goes crazy. I'm surprised she hasn't jumped up on the table in front of me. So, oh, by the way, as we wrap up here, behind me, for those who can't see that is the pop wall I mentioned that in one of my videos.
Looks
PSA is
awesome.
now grading pops. So we've got, I don't know, rough estimate. Let's see, rows of 2, 20, about 130 pops on the wall. We got more upstairs in my son's room, and we got more in somewhere else in the house that are on display. We got some pretty rare ones, and I don't know. Maybe we'll have to inspect some and get PSA slabs on them. So we'll see. It'll be the next thing, right? Graded pops.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, thanks for joining the live stream, Brett. Thanks for asking me the questions. Fun way to kind of wrap up the national. Share it with somebody else, and look forward to a fun upcoming football season and more card stuff coming up in the near future. On the channel, I got to get back into eating. We haven't done any eating lately. I haven't had any contests. I was asked to go to the Minnesota rib eating contest actually while I was at the national. Sam Barclay, who runs Major League Eating, actually had a slot. He said, "Hey, John, you want to come? I think you'd have a good chance at cashing." And I said, "Oh, man, Sam, what are you doing to me? You're doing this, and I can't go." I said, I'm literally in Atlantic City. I drove here. There's no way I can make that. I cannot make it work. But thank you for the offer. So I got to get back on the capacity training, make sure I'm Nathan's or bust next year. Hopefully we'll have some fall contests coming up. I think they'll do like a brat contest again. They might do the pumpkin pie again. They'll definitely do the St. Elmo's. Cat's about to jump on the box that I have this phone propped up on. They'll definitely do the St. Elmo's contest again, but I want to make sure that I'm good and prepared for that. And yeah, so on the channel, if you're into eating, look for that coming up. We'll do more of that. And if it's not eating, it's the betting. We'll do plenty of fantasy betting or plenty of betting for the rest of the IndyCar season. They've got the Nashville race this weekend, and that is always a fun one. Street race right down in Nashville. Really good party atmosphere. I'd love to go to that. But unfortunately for us, we're going to a Chris Brown concert on Saturday. But hey, that's who I listen to. Don't hate me, Brett.
Heck yeah.
But I enjoy
won't
Chris
hate you,
Brown's
buddy.
music. It helps set the mood on the golf course. So
I love it.
Any other final thoughts?
No, man. It was great following along. Appreciate you having me here. It was awesome. I had a great time.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining, and we'll wrap the stream up there. Have a great night, everybody. ERB Sports signing out. Step in the box. Brett signing out. And what's the line you say as we go away?
Until next time. Peace.
Peace. See ya.